This is a Makita SK102 and I've only just recently purchased a self-leveling laser level after watching Razor's review of the laser level that he uses. I think Razor paid £200 or more for his. I managed to get this one off eBay for £110 including delivery, so it was quite a bit cheaper. It's a cross line laser level, so it does horizontal and vertical lines. And it also comes with a carry bag and a wall mount. At the minute I've got it mounted onto a camera tripod, and the actual screw that goes into it I think is a 1/4 inch UNC screw. So if you've got a camera mount with a 1/4 inch UNC screw, you can screw it to your actual camera tripod. So I've actually been using it for aligning these tiles that I've been fitting, and you can see that the laser line goes right round from one side of the room to the other side of the room. So it's absolutely brilliant for saving time, and it's very accurate for when you're doing jobs like this. To be honest, it's hard to fault the actual machine itself. It is a very nifty piece of kit. And if you look on the top here, we've got the on-off button, and then we've also got the pulse mode for when you're outside, and then there's also a lock light that's on there that tells you when it's locked. If you press the on button again, it changes to just a horizontal line. Press it again, it changes to just a vertical line. Press it again, the cross comes back on. The little red light that's on there is the battery light. One thing you've really got to be aware of is to make sure that you unlock it. If we now look at the line of the tiles that I just showed you earlier, you can see that it's moved, and the line is moved maybe 1 inch, 2 inch in places. That's because the pendulum is now locked, and you should only really lock it when you're transporting it anywhere. So if we now unlock it, and the pendulum will settle, and you can see that it's now perfectly level again. So apparently it'll shoot a beam 15 meters, so it's superb for lining up anything vertically or horizontally. But you should always check it periodically using a spirit level just to make sure that it's not faulty. So this is the bag that it comes in. So you've got a little cushion bag to protect it. You can put it in there, and there's also that sleeve that you can wrap around it. And in there you'll also find a target for when you're using it outside. And it also comes with this mount. Now this mount is actually magnetic, so it's got 2 magnets on there, so you can stick it onto something magnetic. Let's give you a demo there. It's just stuck to that screw. But the only problem is you couldn't really put the laser level on there because it'll probably fall off. You need to find something with a bigger metal surface for it to stick to. The only downside of it is that when you fix the laser level to this, there's actually no adjustments in it, which is an absolute pain in the backside. When I set up the laser level for tiling this bathroom, I actually set it up starting tiling approximately 3 inches from the floor, maybe 4 inches. So I just put it on a block for that, but then I needed to lift it up 2 tiles in height, and I was going to use this, and what I was going to do is I was going to screw it to the actual stud there, and then I could shoot the beam all the way around the room without having to move it. But instead I had to use the tripod on the camera because it was impossible to get it on here and get it accurate, because once you put your laser level on there, the screw's there for fixing it, so even if you've marked it, it's very difficult getting it millimetre perfect to line up with your tile. So if you're a millimetre out, there's nothing you can do about it because there's no actual height adjustments in the bracket. So that's the real downside of it. I'm pretty sure that for a few extra quid they could just incorporate a simple slider where you could have some kind of movement and get maybe, you know, 20-30 mil of movement in it, and if they did that with the bracket it'd be absolutely brilliant. But as it stands, the actual laser itself, you can't fault it. It does a fantastic job and it makes your life an hell of a lot easier. But the bracket that it comes with for mounting it really needs changing so that there is some height adjustments in it. and that'd make it an hell of a lot better. So there's just a couple of things that you should be aware of. First, as I mentioned before, you've got to make sure that the pendulum isn't locked. If it's locked, it's not going to give you a level line. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, never serve into the beam because it can actually damage your eyes. So whatever you do, don't go serving into it because it will damage your eyes. So because there's no actual adjustment in the actual bracket that holds the laser level, what I've done is I've stuck a piece of metal to the wall here, and it's the only thing I've got metallic on with it. It's actually flat. So that's the blade off my circular saw, and I've actually just stuck that to the wall temporarily using some mammoth tape. So I've just cut a piece of that off, stuck it on the back of the blade, and then I've stuck the blade to the wall, and now I've got some adjustment because I can slide the actual magnetic bracket up and down until I get it in the right place. But it would make it a lot easier if the actual bracket had some kind of height adjustment on it. So I'll just show you what I'm actually using it for, and I'm actually using it to level these tiles up, and you can see that the laser lines in the grout lines all the way across there, and it comes across there. I'll put my spirit level on the tile tracker just to make sure that it is level, and then the beam goes all the way around here. And the beauty of fixing it to the wall is I can actually turn the level, and I can point from one grout line in one corner, turn it right around and get the other grout line in the other corner and make sure that they both line up, and that way you're guaranteed to get your tiles perfectly straight.